And I can cut out the first part. I can cut it out later.
Okay, so hi, my name is Lauren, and I'm going to be the nurse taking care of you today.
Okay.
Can you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Kimberly Richardson. It's April 22nd, 1999.
Okay, and what brought you in today?
Well, I was in a car accident. I busted up my wrist and my jaw a little bit, so I'm just here for a checkup.
Okay. All right. Well, from here, I see that your vitals are looking, some are fine. Your blood pressure and your heart rate looks a little elevated. Do you have any previous history with hypertension or any blood pressure issues?
Not that I know of. I've never had anything in my last visits.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let the doctor know, and we'll discuss it more later.
Okay.
All right. So we asked you 2 alcohol pre-screening questions earlier. Do you mind if we talked about your alcohol use?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So from your screening, it says that you have 4 more drinks a week. Is that correct?
Yeah, I drink more on the weekends, but I do have like 6 to 7 shots of gin a day, so yeah.
Okay, so you primarily drink on the weekends, and then you also drink throughout the week.
Yeah, I drink heavier on the weekends, but I do still need a little bit every day.
Okay. And it also says, have you found that you're not able to stop drinking once you start?
Yeah, I just feel like as the day goes on, I find myself needing more and more shots. I come up to about 6 or 7 a day, so.
Okay. All right. And so can you tell me, with drinking the 6 or 7 shots a day, can you tell me what you like about that? Or why does it make you feel good?
Well, it's really just a stress reliever. It really helps me relax. It helps me to, just not be as stressed out every day.
Okay. And what would you say your stress level? What stresses you?
Well, I'm having some problems with my marriage. I don't really hang out with my friends as much anymore. I used to be on these climbing teams and these soccer teams, but I quit those. So, I don't know, it just gives me something else to do.
Okay. And is there anything that you don't like about drinking?
Well, I liked hanging out with my friends, and I enjoyed my climbing and soccer teams, but it's kind of hard to hide it if I'm, hanging out with people all the time. So I just kind of quit everything. That kind of sucks.
Okay. Do you feel like you have any issues with drinking? Like, do you feel like you have a problem with drinking?
I feel like I could have a problem with it. I definitely feel like maybe I could cut down on it, especially since, I've cut my teams, I've quit my teams, and my marriage isn't getting any better. It could be a problem.
Okay. And it also says that, like, you've had a friend or a relative say that you should cut back on drinking.
Yeah, well, I haven't really had my family or anybody say anything. They just kind of noticed that I'm not hanging out with them as much.
Mm-hmm.
But, I figured since y'all asked me these questions and wanted me to do the screening that maybe it's a problem. Maybe y'all see that I have a problem with it.
Okay, well, based on the screening, each answer calculates a score, and so your total score was a 32, which is a high amount. You have a high risk for abusing alcohol. For women, the recommended amount is no more than 3 drinks a day, and no more than 7 drinks per week.
Okay.
So, I know this can be, hard to hear and hard to process, but, I want you to, get better, and I want things to work out with you and your husband. Let's see, we have a scale here. that I want you to look at. And based on this scale, how willing do you think you are to make a change with your drinking?
I think about a 7.
Okay. Okay, well, 7 is great. Can you tell me why you would choose a 7 and not maybe a 2?
Well, I mean,
What motivates you more to choose 7?
well, I mean that's a pretty high score, and you know, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're telling me I have a problem, and I see that I do. I mean, it's definitely affecting the relationships I have, my friends and my husband. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's time for a change.
Well,
So I can do that.
I'm really glad to hear that. So how confident do you feel that you could actually limit yourself to 3 drinks a day and no more than 7 drinks a week on a scale of 0 to 10?
Probably about a 5. I mean, I haven't always drank every day, so I feel like I could get it down.
Well, good. I think 5 is a great number. And, you know, I think, with choosing a 5 of your confidence level, I'm sure it can help with your marriage and maybe, get back to hanging out with your friends and doing things that you normally do so that you don't feel so isolated.
Right.
All right, so I know you're definitely capable of making this change, and I can tell that you're motivated. So I would suggest if you would like to reduce your drinking, I know that you work Monday through Friday, and I see that you primarily drink on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Maybe you could, limit your drinks to Fridays and Saturdays, considering Sundays, you'll have to get up and get ready for work on Mondays. So if you can limit, your drinks to primarily on the weekends, and, if you need a drink during the week, just limit it to just at least once a day. And, as a woman, it's a little different for us because our bodies process alcohol a little bit differently than men. So I have this neat little sheet that you can take home so that you can, know the standard drink measurements for whatever you choose to drink.
Okay.
And maybe that can help you, just monitor how much you're drinking each day.
Okay.
And let's see. So, other than drinking, is there anything else that you do to relieve your stress?
Well, when I was on the climbing team and the soccer team, I mean, that took up a lot of time. And, I mean, that was a great way to relieve my stress. I really liked the adrenaline. And, of course, I was around my friends. So, that was a really good stress reliever. Both of those were.
Well, that's good. I feel like physical activity is a great stress reliever. Even if you took up something like yoga, or if you just did some deep breathing exercises, meditation, even just stepping outside and having time to yourself, I'm sure could help with your stress.
Okay.
And I know things can be a little hard at home with your husband, but maybe talking with him and, just explaining to him, about your stress and what's bothering you and your, that maybe you have a problem with drinking. Maybe he can help you, cope a little bit better.
Okay.
All right. So let's try to come up with a goal for cutting back on your alcohol use.
Okay.
So what are some, so you said you like to play soccer
Mhm.
and you like to climb?
Yeah, I used to be on teams for both of those.
Okay, yeah, so maybe instead of drinking some nights, maybe you can, play a pickup soccer game, or you could go and climb somewhere.
Yeah, my friends are still on the soccer team, so I could probably get with them about, joining back up. I know they play a couple times a week.
Well, that's good. Okay, and I just think if you let your husband know, I think that he'd be really willing to support you. And I'm not saying that you have to let your friends know that you have a drinking problem, but it's good to have support. And going back to your vitals from today, with your blood pressure being elevated as well as your heart rate, I did want to let you know that alcohol, it can take serious tolls on your body, including your brain, your heart, your liver, all aspects of your body. And, with your heart rate being up, it's really dangerous for arrhythmias, which is irregular heartbeats. And I just wanted to make you aware that drinking is not good for you.
Yeah,
not good for your body.
I didn't know that. Maybe that's why it's up this time and it hasn't been.
Okay, but I am gonna let the doctor know so that I would like for you to come in maybe in 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and just follow up with your wrist and your jaw, as well as what we talked about today.
Okay.
And just during the week, if you feel that you have some questions, just write those down. If you can kind of monitor how much you drink each day, write it down. It can help show you your progress.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about it the next visit.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, and I also want to monitor your blood pressure for the next couple visits, just to make sure that we don't have any underlying issues.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
But I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And I hope for the best for you and your family.
Thank you.